Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel, IniAkoo. In today's video, I'll show you how to render a scene like the one you saw at the beginning, using Eevee. But this time, it's not going to be a step-by-step tutorial. Instead, it's more of a workflow type video showing you how I usually render scenes in Blender. Before we dive in, I want to mention that this video is sponsored by Fox Render Farm. Stick around to learn how you can get a free $50 coupon. Now, let's get this video started. The first thing I usually do is to look for free assets online. So I found this temple-like asset on CG Trader. It's free to download. I also found a character asset which is also free on sketchfab. Since I wanted the scene to have the character sitting on a throne, I looked for a sci-fi chair. I found one on a sketchfab as well. After downloading those assets, I'll import them into Blender. Once imported, I'll check if the materials are assigned. If you see a pink color, it means there's a missing material. So you either need to assign it manually or automatically. Now it looks good. Then I'll import the character and do the same material check. I'll also import the sci-fi chair and check its materials too. The next step is character rigging. I want to show you a free rigging application by Reallusion called IniAkoo. You can go to their website and download it for free. After you install it, the first thing you need to do is convert your character to an FBX file if it isn't already. For example, the character I downloaded wasn't an FBX file, so I had to export it as an FBX file first. Once that's done, I'll open IniAkoo and import the file. After importing, you can start rigging using the template provided. Just follow the example shown on the side and position everything accordingly. After that, move on to the hand rigging part where you rig the fingers. Once everything is set, go to the check animation section to see if your animation, weight, and rigging are all good. I've used it many times so far and there isn't much additional tweaking needed. Once satisfied, export it, choose Blender as the target application and hit export. After finishing with IniAkoo and exporting, the next part is to import into Blender. Since we use IniAkoo, don't import the traditional way. Instead, use the Reallusion add-on Character Creator to Blender pipeline. This add-on is free and available on their website too, and there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube to help you out. The reason I use this add-on to import the character we rig is that it allows us to convert the rig to rigify with just one click. You just hit the rigify button and automatically your rigging is converted to rigify. Then you can check to make sure rigify is working properly and looking good. Next, we need to attach the spear to the character's hand. I want the character to hold the spear, so I'll add an empty object, parent the spear to this empty object, and then add an object constraint to the empty object. Choose child off and target the rigify armature. For the bone, select the hand bone where you want the character to hold the spear. That's it for the rigging part. Now we can start animating. Before I start animating, the first thing I do is open the dope sheet window. Then I open another window and change it to the timeline. In the dope sheet window, switch from dope sheet to action editor. Once you've done that, add a new action and rename it to whatever you like. Then turn on the fake user option. After that, turn on the record button in the timeline window below. Click the arrow button to open the menu and turn on only active keying set. Now select your character's armature and go to pose mode. Press I or sometimes K depending on your setup, and an option menu will appear. Select location, rotation, and scale. You should now see keyframes. Now you can start animating your character. So I get to animating, watch as I animate until it's done. The next step is my favorite one. I always get excited when I reach this part. But before I explain this step, I want to tell you about our video sponsor, Fox Render Farm. Ever feel like your computer takes longer to render a project than you take to decide what to watch on Netflix? Yep, me too. But guess what? I found the perfect solution and it's called Fox Render Farm. So picture this. You've got this epic animation or super detailed visual effects scene and you're ready to render. But then, your computer turns into a sloth. Enter Fox Render Farm. These guys are the like caffeine boost your renders desperately need. Fox Render Farm is the awesome cloud rendering service that works with all the big names in 3D software. Maya, 3ds Max, Blender, Cinema 4D, and you name it. And using it is easier than trying to remember all your passwords. Just upload, set your options, and let Fox Render Farm do its magic. Imagine cutting your render times down from hours to minutes. It's like having a superpower. Plus, they've got flexible pricing that won't make your wallet cry. And their security is tighter than my pants after the holidays. And if you ever get stuck, their 24/7 customer support is there to save the day. Now here's the best part. If you sign up using the link in the description, you get a $50 coupon. That's like getting a free sample of ice cream but way cooler because, it's rendering. And there's more. Fox Render Farm is running a contest right now and you can join to win some amazing prizes. Check out the details and join the contest using the link in the description. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this. So go ahead, click that link, sign up, and let Fox Render Farm turbocharge your renders. Seriously, your projects will love you for it. And who knows, maybe you'll have time to actually watch that show you spent hours picking up. Happy rendering, folks. And why is this my favorite part? Because this is where we get to see the final look, the vibe, the mood, and the feel of our scene. The process is really fun and involves setting up lighting placement, camera angles, focal length, and so on. Here we need to think about how to light the scene to make it look cinematic or dramatic, or to make it appear as if it's outdoors or indoors. I can play around with the color of the lighting and tweak the settings. There's no fixed rule here, meaning you don't have to put something in a specific spot. It's subjective. If you think your light looks good on the left side of the character, then it's up to you. That's why this is my favorite part. We can imagine how our final render will look, and that's why. Once we've played around with our lighting, camera angles, camera movements, and animation, I like to refine my scenes to make it look even cooler. For example, I want to add fire behind my character, but I don't want to use fire simulation because it's quite heavy. I want to keep the rendering light. So I use stock footage of fire that I found online. I download it and import it as an image sequence. I place it on the torch behind the character and add a point light so it reacts to the environment in the scene. Then I tried adding a sky background, but it didn't quite fit, so I just left it black. That's it. Next, setting up the render in Eevee is really easy. Open the render properties and just turn on the settings like I do. You can follow along. Enable high bit depth shadow and change the cube size to 1024 pixels. For volumetrics, set the tile size to 2 pixels when you're ready to render. While working on the scene, leave it at 8 pixels to keep things lighter. Then you can turn on volumetric shadows. If you want to enable motion blur, you can do that too. For the compositing part, I just add ambient occlusion and then lens distortion to create a bit of chromatic aberration on the edges, as you can see. And that's pretty much it. Not much is needed for this scene since it's quite simple. So that's all for the compositing part. Now I'm going to show you how to render using Fox Render Farm. Don't worry, it's really easy. First, you need to log in to your account. Once you're logged in, you'll see the overview or dashboard. Then click on Assets. Make sure to change your CPU region. Select GPU region 1. Once you've selected GPU region 1, you need to upload your Blender folder. But before uploading, you need to download that Ray-Sync transmission tool. Install it as usual, and then you can upload to Fox Render Farm. After uploading, click on Submit. A menu will pop up. Choose the file you created, click Continue, add or edit the config, and fill in the name, software, and Blender version. Ignore the plugin section and leave it as default. Click Save. Next, in the hardware configuration, select the GPU model you want, and for GPU render, select what's available. Choose 64GB RAM, idle, and click Go Analysis. It will render the queue for analysis. Once the analysis is done, adjust the rendering frame settings. For example, I'll set it to render 3 frames. And if you see here, even if it says cycles render, if you have set the file to Eevee, it will render with Eevee, so you don't have to worry. Turn off everything else, leave the other settings as they are, and click Submit to render. Now wait for it to render your scene. Once it's done, go to the output file, select all, and download the output. Now Fox Render Farm has rendered your scene. Easy, right? Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and click the bell icon for future videos. Okay, see you next time. Thank you. And sorry for my English. English is not my first language. I am not fluent whatsoever. So, yeah. Goodbye.